It was Professor Einstein who said that insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you do the exact same thing today that you did yesterday, then chances are your tomorrow could be just like your today. You must do something different to get something different. Growth is a part of human nature, ladies and gentlemen, and change is inevitable. We were all designed to mature and created to evolve. It's a human characteristic to want to increase or grow. Only when introduced to the reality of life's obstacles do we become fearful to move on and advance. Now, many times we find ourselves, gearing up and mentally preparing for the journey of success. Whether it be spiritually, mentally, physically, or financially, we all were designed to thrive and crave the thrill of increase. It's a natural instinct. We were born with the ability and the capability to win in every situation. For instance, when a child begins to take their first few attempts at walking, think about it for a second. A child doesn't understand the I can'ts or the what if options. Although they may fall down over and over again, they're not discouraged. They're determined. Children don't know to contemplate other options. They don't know that other options even exist. They're focused and they're ready for the next attempt. Could it be that they don't understand or comprehend failure yet? Or is it because they see walking as an achievable possibility? At some point in our lives, we lose the capability to ignore the impossible, and we subject ourselves to the fear of failure. We begin to contemplate that success may not be our God-given right when we learn that failure is an option. The thought of failure often paralyzes individuals from ever even attempting to take the first step towards succeeding. Now, when you were a child and someone asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, you may have said something like, I want to be an astronaut or a police officer, a doctor, or even a lawyer. And some may have even said maybe a dancer, a singer, rodeo clown, professional athlete, whatever it may have been, your dreams had no limits because you have not been yet exposed to the reality of limitations. Is this making sense? I can't remember ever hearing a child say, when I grow up, I'm going to try to be a doctor. The funny thing about a child, they don't really understand the word try. A child will look you square in the eyes and without wavering confidence, they will tell you, I am going to be a movie star. Now, here's the secret. A child's formula for success is, if they can do it, so can I. Children know that they can be taught to do anything. Let me repeat that. Children know that they can be taught to do anything. And the reason they think they can be taught to do anything is because they see it achievable in someone else's reality. Children don't understand the possibility of failure until someone introduces the fact that failure is an option. Today, we are going to renew that childlike confidence. Never let another person define what's impossible for you to do. We are going to learn to think like a winner. And not only to think to win, but to think to win big. Fear, in most cases, it's a learned emotion. Although we were born with the natural ability to evolve and increase, our growth can be stunted when we are exposed to the giant opponent of every human being. And that opponent is the word but. Let me give you an example. A lot of people say, I want to start a diet, but. This is what I want you to understand from this example. When you use the word but, B-U-T, it cancels whatever you said before you use the word. Another example would be this. I love you, but. I love you was canceled when you said but. Today, you will learn how to cancel your fears, enhance your life, and feed your desire to succeed. You will learn to think and win big in every situation in your life. Okay, let's jump right into it. The psychology or the mentality of a winner. It was Vince Lombardi who said, winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. I love that. Listen to this. Success leaves clues. No one wins because of a coincidence. There aren't any coincidences to winning, ladies and gentlemen. No one wins by chance or luck. Winners win because they want to win. Winners win because they must win. Winners win because they've got to win. Winners think about winning all the time. Think about it for just one second. Let me give you an example. of how winners think about winning all the time. Best-selling hip-hop artist Nelly released an international hit called What Does It Take to Be Number One? Now, regardless of your personal beliefs in hip-hop or your culture or whatever music you may listen to, I want you to just really focus on my point for just a second. Now, Nelly released a song called What Does It Take to Be Number One? The chorus line goes on to say that 2 is not a winner, and 3, nobody remembers. I use this song a lot when I go into the schools, when I go in to speak all over the nation. And the reason is because we want to teach children or teach individuals the mentality of what it takes to become a winner. Now, this is what I want you to focus on. This album went straight to the top of the charts and made Nelly an international phenomenon. Now, this is the real kicker. Check this out. He wrote the song before he became number one in the public's eye. Let me repeat that. Nelly wrote this song way before he became number one in the public's eye, yet he understood the concept and attitude of a winner. This is what I meant when I said that winners eat, sleep, and breathe the concept of victory, of being number one. If you want to be in first place, you have to see yourself there first before you get there. Is that making sense? You must sell yourself on the fact that you are a winner long before you become a winner, and that you are number one long before it's obvious to others. Nelly wrote the song, What Does It Take to Be Number One, long before he became number one. In other words, faith is a very important ingredient for you to be able to realize and experience the manifestation of ever becoming a winner. Now that you have the faith to be number one, now you as an individual must sell yourself first on the fact that you are number one. You must sell yourself on the fact and believe that you are a winner, because it's impossible for someone else to see you or to experience you as a winner if you can't experience it from yourself first. Is that making sense? Another example would be this. Muhammad Ali was voted by USA Today Athlete of the Century. And what I want you to understand about Muhammad Ali, he actually mastered the psychology of winning. Long before Ali was the greatest fighter of all time, he told the world he was the greatest fighter. And long before the world even knew who he was, he told the local gyms that he was the greatest. And long before Ali was even confident enough to come out in public and become outspoken, he told himself that he was the greatest. Ali first convinced himself that he was the greatest before he could ever convince anyone else. Is this making sense? What's more important to remember right now is this. Not only is it necessary for you to continually remind yourself that you are a winner, it is mandatory for your opponent to see you, to hear you, and to feel your confidence in your own abilities to win. Now, here's the secret. When your opponent begins to imagine you winning, half of your battle is already won. Your opponent can be anything or anyone who tries to keep you from coming out of the box. For example, let me share with you what one of my major opponents was in life. My opponents basically were the odds that stood against me. You know, society and statistics, they tell me because I'm biracial, I was born in the projects, I lived on welfare, and because my father was an alcoholic, I came from a single-parent home, that I supposedly will never have any control of what will ultimately determine my future. According to society, I was supposed to have emotionally suffered at the hand of my peers because, I don't know, what my race is. I'm supposed to be struggling with alcoholic tendencies. I'm supposed to be, socially and economically depressed or suppressed or whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, listen to my reality. My reality is very different. I could have had problems in school about my race, but it was obvious that I was confident and very satisfied with who I was. In high school, for instance, I ended up being homecoming king, most likely to be remembered, and class favorite. I don't have any dependencies on alcohol. I live a very nice lifestyle, and I'm very happy with who I am, obviously. Listen very closely. Never let others' experiences become your reality. Just because the masses or the majority of individuals or society deals with certain situations, it does not mean that you have to lock yourself in that exact same box and experience what the masses experience. You can never let another's experience become your reality. You are the only one who can officially determine who and what you will become. If you want to be a winner, you're going to be a winner. If you see yourself in society's box, that's where you're going to be. Never let anyone create your world for you, because they will always create it too small. Winners win because they are willing to go against the grain and do today what others don't, to have tomorrow what others won't. You must win. By my very own example, ask yourself, am I a freak of nature? No. I am simply programmed by God to be the head and not the tail, to be above and not beneath anything or anyone. I was designed to win, and so I choose to walk with my footsteps towards my God-given right. I am mentally programmed to win. I am a record breaker. I am confident, and I am not arrogant. I am just confident in the fact that I was born to win. Now, here's the most exciting thing about it. So were you. The thing is this, everyone experiences hard times and struggles, but all winners have one thing in common, and that is that we do not like to lose. Society has programmed us to think that if you're having troubles in your marriage, get a divorce. You know what? Almost all situations have an easy way out, but the prize for the race is not always given to the quick. Instead, it's given to the one who perseveres and finishes the race. Winners understand that through the thick and the thin, we must win. Failure's not an option for winners, ladies and gentlemen. They say winners never quit, but this is what I can guarantee you. A quitter will never be a winner. A true winner also understands the importance of surrounding himself or herself around other winners. I made it a personal goal in my life to constantly introduce myself to and continuously surround myself with people who are where I want to be. People who can stretch me. My mentors like Les Brown, your Jerry Clarks, your Jim Rohns. These are individuals that I surround myself around because they are where I want to be. I believe with all my heart, mind, and soul that you cannot follow a parked car. I don't hang around or surround myself around people who aren't going anywhere. All winners understand that you must get out of your comfort zone. You can't learn how to swim in shallow waters. Does that make sense? You must be able to get into the deep waters in order to experience bigger and greater things in life. It's hard to move to a higher level if everyone around you is beneath you or on the same level as you. When I say beneath you, I don't mean beneath you as if you are a better person than they are, because we all know that we are all created equally. What I mean is this. For an example, if you want to become an executive at your job, then you need to expose yourself to the mentality of an executive. There are a lot of people who are or have been where you're trying to go. You cannot follow a parked car, ladies and gentlemen. Hang around winners and you will become a winner too.